Hello everyone, welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 393. Today is Sunday, December 12th, 2021, and I'm glad you could join me today. It was definitely a long podcast break, which isn't too crazy. It is a glum and rainy day here in San Francisco. But what would it be? Nothing too crazy. I did have a very lovely vacation. It was chill, which was probably exactly what was needed, and then ended up spending a week afterwards working most of the day, but then playing in the last couple of hours of sunlight, which was lovely. So definitely interested to, or it would be interesting to try that again in the future, because I think that is one good thing that has come from the pandemic is would it be being able to do remote work in lovely places is pretty nice. Would it be non-stop flights, fairly straightforward. Got to hang out with some friends from undergrad as well, so that was good. Maybe not nearly as much knitting as the last time I took a week off for Thanksgiving. I believe that was the time period in which we got Netflix, and then I had to catch up on Netflix. And totally knit a light fingering weight sweater in 3 weeks. So, what would it be? There's a season for everything, and this trip was that. And I would say, like, another thing is, and maybe this doesn't end up getting, like, said a lot, was part of what makes it, like, a vacation for me is, like, not needing to spend mental energy on food. It was more along the lines of, what do I want to have? Which I think is probably much more pleasant. But yeah, no, I am, what would it be? Especially this week, I think it's just the case where, like, I am tired. So this probably hasn't been super duper great for the knitting and spinning productivity, but such is life. Oh, and also need to laugh because I was decidedly over project. Would it be? Yeah. Everything fit. I brought a carry-on in my DFW Fiberfest bag that fits under the seat of the airplane. I had 4 pairs of shoes, which was probably silly, but I did use them all. There's just some shoes that aren't appropriate. Or would it be? Or maybe I just don't own shoes that are appropriate for more occasions. But what would it be? Actually, we're going to start with the other thing. Because that is something that you have seen before. So this is the Donner. This is the back of the Donner. And this is the front of the Donner. And so where we left off, I think I had finished the back and was working on the front. I am now joined in the round. I have finished all of the neck shaping that was going on there. I put on a little bit of ribbing around the collar. And I must admit, there are definitely times where I feel a little bit cross about what Elizabeth Daughtry is telling me in this pattern. But she is explaining it in mind-numbing detail because it is the perfect way. And so everything that has gone on so far has resulted in, this is probably one of the prettiest little necks I've ever made. And I was like, why in the world am I doing? And then at the end, you're like, yes, this is not a way, this is the best way. So what ended up, or would it be the case where unfortunately, this pattern was just a little bit too salty for where my mind was at the time, which may have been also having a sweater with pretty significant alpaca content on your lap on a beach when it's 85 isn't such a great plan. There's probably a decent amount of sand in here. So I was like, maybe I should think about the sleeves. And then I was like, reading the sleeve instruction and be like, I can't think. So this ended up getting put on hold for a little bit, as you do. And I'm going to make a quick pause. Okay. Shenanigans. But let's see. So the only concern I have with the sweater at this moment, which may end up, or would it be? It's a little hard to tell. So, like, I have a 36-inch upper bust, and that has not changed. But I now have a 43-inch full bust. And I am knitting the 43-inch size of the sweater, going off the thought process of the drop that you get with the shoulder. Probably has a lot more to do with your upper bust measurement than your full bust measurement. But, or would it be, and then it's supposed to be sort of a loose drapey sweater to boot. However, or would it be, it like wiggle the sweater on and it is clear that it has 0 ease in the bust. So what would it be? And like I'm in uncharted waters right now because it's sort of like, I don't know, I have been a 36, 39 across all sorts of like weight change and that sort of thing. It's been rock solid. Like this to this has been the same. So it is super weird to be 4 cup sizes bigger. and it's uncharted waters because I guess maybe this is a permanent change. It is a distinct possibility that there will be even more boob than before. I don't know. So, like, what would it be? So that does put some doubt in me. So I don't know if I need to like look through a whole bunch of sweaters. What this very likely means is that, or would it be like I picked the drop shoulder because it's pretty friendly, but I might not have set myself up for success. And if I want to change the size of the sweater, that means like completely restarting as well. So that doesn't sound as nice. So what are you? But it's also like a little hard to tell just because. Let's see. I'll just. It's only slightly dangerous. Okay. So, like, I do have like the appropriate amount of drop, like the drop on the sweater matches the sleeves, but, and I suppose that I can't really necessarily see what's going on back, but there is just so much more boob. So I haven't necessarily gotten all the way past to then see how things drape from here. And what would it be? Like, I know that, like, the size changes I have and like whatever due to being pregnant will pass, but like, am I different? Like, am I a different size? What's going on? Should it be this way? So, yeah. So it'd be the case where I do get the drop that I want, and that was what I was going for, but I will not have as much positive ease around full bust. But then after that, like this distance here will end up being like loose and flowy and that sort of thing. And then the other thing going on is that it's sometimes hard to really assess where the drop's going to fall before you get sleeves on, because then that sort of also opens it up a little bit. So, but I haven't knit far enough past to get around. So I think it's going to be fine, but it was a surprise, which I figured I should mention. And that has everything to do with, that has everything to do with, I may need to not do that in the future, because, this yarn, will definitely run like a bad pair of nylons, given the opportunity. So that, or would it be? I would say that's like that's always I guess the other dimension of sweater knitting, right? Is like, there is the execution of the pattern, there is the pattern's ability in order to make it fit your body or that sort of thing. But then there's also just straight up selecting the correct size for where you are at in your life right now. So I thought I thought I had done that. But I may have led myself slightly astray. So if the boots are going to be big forever, what would it be? See, I don't know what to do. Like I definitely know what I would do in like the situation of like a yoke, based on Amy Beth's wisdom. Like I do know what I need to do in order to make a raglan work. I know what I need to do in order to make like a, I know what I need to do in order to say, for example, make like a sweater that in pieces work. So none of this is like impossible. It's just, what would it be? It means I am not working to straight size at this juncture, but I'm a confident enough knitter that I can. I can do the modifications in order to make that work. So, I don't know if that, or would it be, that probably isn't what is stalling progress. It's quite possible that I just sort of am like, wee, exciting, new project. But I think now that I'm home and it is a little chilly, like, it's like, okay, I know this is a good project for the situation. So, because of, what would it be? It'd be the case for, and the other thing that was going on was like doing the pattern rows growing up and having to rip back lots, and it was like, this is not fun. I need to do a simpler project. So I cast on the progression sew. So this is by Karen Visinger, who I'm guessing it's former, but she was the host of Round the Twist. And I am knitting this out of Hello Yarn in the Lengthy Fiber Drew colorway, which is like, it was inspired by a, like, I don't know, when you know, like those Vermeer style, super light and dark sorts of almost glowing paintings of a woman spinning. And so this has Iridipe. Like, I got it because it had a little bit of blue. Or it was probably, of the options for the spin along at the time, the most blue option. But it also has like all of the colors of the natural world. So it's a little interesting just because, what would it be? You end up having like forest greens and yellows and browns and, what would it be? Almost like there's some like orange in it as well. But would it be the case where definitely get a decent amount of the blue in here as well. It started off with a little yellow tail, and now the stripes are shorter, but it still looks really nice. The pattern was originally designed for like a hand spun gradient, but I concluded that it was also going to look pretty good in, what would it be? This, I think I ended up spinning as a 2-ply fractal lace weight. And I believe the fiber is Rambouillet. So I had like 712 yards to start off with, and now my ball is looking a bit hollow at this point. So like it's not going to be too much longer for this, I don't believe. It's been really nice. Been a really nice knitting project for whatever, like the past 2 weeks, because I don't think I expected to get that much done. But there was like beach knitting and meeting knitting and plain knitting and class knitting, and so there's been a lot of opportunities to work on it. Which of course begs the question of, out of the 4 ounces I started with, how much is left? But what would it be? It's very straightforward pattern, very easy knit. Definitely can appreciate that at this juncture, because that was what my mind needed while on vacation. Apparently, this was not a vacation where I wanted to be challenged. So let's see. The scale is currently in ounces for some reason, so we're just gonna go with that. Okay. So according to this, I have 1.72 ounces left of this ball of yarn. We probably started somewhere close to 4, so I'm 3/4 done with this. And like the nice thing with this sort of boomerang style is that the stitch count never gets like really crazy. And like at this point, it's definitely, what would it be? I don't know. Like it's not gonna be like a big shawl. This is definitely more of like the scarfy sort of aspect ratio, right? So, as you do. Oh, there we go. So, and like I can definitely see a situation in which you could block it to make it bigger, but I'm probably not going to do that. Really enjoyable to knit with the yarn. Would it be nice, or would it be like, we're sort of, as I'm looking at my hand spun and figuring out what sort of things I want to make with my hand spun to make room in my life for more hand spun. I'm definitely getting into the more challenging skeins where, or would it be so like, and like it's just more challenging just because it's like how much work is going to be involved in making the thing, right? So like my 1,000-yard 5-ounce lace weight skein, like that's going to be an endeavor to knit it, right? So I suppose that picking this Rambouillet was would it be? It's probably on the easier end of what skeins are made. Also, just because I certainly have quite a few sock skeins that wouldn't be too crazy to do, but such is life. So that's going along well. It may not actually be that much more time before it's done. Just sort of depends on, I guess, my own mood. So what I finished is this rainbow hat. So this is a modified version of Tensefield. After I get it the right circumference, I work straight for a while, and then launch into the decreases. But isn't it so freaking cute? And of course, depending on what way you wear it, you end up getting some pretty different effects going on, which is pretty cool. So it definitely turned out to be quite a bit more red on top, but I don't think that's going to be like the end of the world. It still needs wash. Since I was like knitting it on the beach, I figure might like at least try to get some of the sand out of it. So I knit this out of Western Sky Knits Pulver, or this is Western Sky Knits Pulver Silk in the Poppy Seed colorway that I had written down as fingering weight, but I think it puffed into Sport or DK. And I still have quite a bit of yarn left over, so I'm thinking about what I would like to do with the rest of it. So you can see I was just barely, or would it be? It'd be the case where it was sort of like a mirror gradient, so the mirrors were on the resin purple, so you'll see a little bit thicker purple and red sections on this. So I had almost used all of the red on this guy, and so then you can sort of see the mirror going on here where the very beginning of this is red and then the end of this will be. So I think, or what are we? So I think I have about 3 ounces in the hat and I have 1 ounce not in the hat. But I'm wondering if I actually want to do like a yoke or stripes with the leftovers of this. I have a gray DK that I'm thinking might look really cute with that. And we'll just act like this yarn is DK at this point, because I don't know, I could rewind it, or reskein it and then rewind it again, but we'll just be surprised. So what do we? And then what do we? So then after I get this all spiffed up, then I'll actually be mailing this away to the recipient. So that'll be really nice. But yeah, I know. So Martina Dem, this might be the 23rd or 24th Tensefield that I've knit, but it is really cute and warm hat, so I think it should be good. What it be? And then the cuff rim, I think, ends up making it a lot nicer for sizing purposes, and then the fact that it's garter means, what it be? There's an awful lot of stretch going on there, so it'd be the case where I think my head It's like 21 or 22 inches, and I think that this is like a 18-inch hat. So it definitely can accommodate quite a lot of stretch and move. And this yarn had like the right color cadence on it to make a really nice tense field. So I'm glad I figured out the right pattern. So that was positive. I brought the skew socks with me to fix and didn't feel like it. Or would it be? It was the case where, like, I guess I had like a multi-pronged plan of making sure I wouldn't run out of knitting on the trip. And I probably should have known that it wasn't necessary. So I brought the socks to fix if I felt like it. I brought my skein of lace weight to knit the shawl with. I was working on the hat. I was working on the sweater. So managed to finish the hat on the trip. Managed to at least get the sweater into an in the round sort of place. Before sort of what would it be? Maybe just getting frustrated with working the pattern when I needed to like pick up and put down a lot, if that makes any sense. And then I also had my spinning project with me, which I didn't end up touching, but it came with me. So, like, would it have been fine to have worked on? Absolutely. Did I? No. So what would it be? So hat, sweater. So I had 5 things I had brought with me. See, it's 5 things, not 4. 5 things I brought to work on, a book to read, a book that I've been intending to read for quite some time, but apparently I'm just not there. So, yeah. And then I ended up doing 3. So, maybe not terrible. Would it be? But definitely not as productive as last Thanksgiving break. So, and I don't know if some of this just has to do with me feeling sort of lethargic right now. So it's like, it's okay. Or would it be because like in the weeks leading up to the trip, I actually wasn't like keeping up with knitting podcasts. And like I've been able to watch like maybe one before it's just like, okay, I'm tired. I'm getting into bed now. And then crazy makingly, like last night, like I was like, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. Got into bed at like 9 o'clock, but I don't think I actually properly fell asleep till like 1. So it's like, I could have been doing something else. So, or would it be? There have definitely been times where I have gone in bed that early and then actually properly fall asleep, but apparently that was not last night. So, I don't know, it's an interesting challenge for sure. But there's also not too much that I can do about it either, so like would it be like it probably require, I guess, like much more strict sleep sanitation than I'm willing to go into. Who knows? But in exciting news, so this is the 12th of December, and that means that it is the start of the Hip String Space 12 spin along. So every night until Christmas Eve, Jill and Nick are going to be doing a live stream on YouTube and spinning the fibers. And so it'll be the case where Jill normally spins them in the order And then Nick rolls a die and mixes it up. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So I have 12 half-ounce little fiber bundles. I haven't spoiled myself. I'm probably going to work it Jill style. And so I think what that means is I'm actually going to have 2 bobbins going. So I'll take the fiber, split it in half, and make a 2-ply gradient with it. So I'm really excited to participate live with that. It'd be the case where, or it'd be like, in years past, I've watched people's Vlogmas, but I don't think I'm gonna do that this year. I missed the beginning of December. December's almost halfway over anyways. I have to say, like, no, not so much, but I think the other thing is that, if you ask me what my favorite holiday was, I might stare at you blankly for a little bit. So, like, thinking about what's going on. So it'd just be the case where I am not nearly as excited about any holiday as some people are about, like, maybe one specific one. So, or would it be the case, like, there are the people who really love Halloween, and the people who really love Christmas, and the people who really love Halloween and Christmas, and it probably doesn't help that I'm in a place where everything is pretty close to the same weather-wise year-round. So I might be wearing shorts today, but it is not a shorts day, it's just cozy in the house. So what would it be? So it'd be the case where I'm not participating in this spin along because of my deep, abiding love of Christmas. It's more like, this is a cool idea, and I would like to support hip strings. Alas. So, I don't know. So it's just a little bit funny because what this likely means is that there would be, like, I would never do Vlogmas. Because I am not super spun up and excited about it. And I don't know whether or not, like, my feelings will change. Would it be? Because I would say that, like, when you're young, there's definitely, like, big excitement and energy wrapped around Christmas. And when you have young people around, they can rev you up because they're so revved up about it. So I don't know if that will end up changing. Or it'd be the case where I'm not young enough right now. What had happened where it was like, it's dark now and I don't want to leave the house. This is what it means to be old. I don't want to be out in the world when the sun is set. I'd be like, I need to move further south. But or it'd be the case where I have a deep, I don't know, like, I really do love summer and the sunshine, but you don't get a lot of sunshine in the summer in San Francisco, so it's a foggy before the sun sets in San Francisco, so oh well. But it'd be the case where maybe that's where some of those feelings end up coming from, when like the sun's setting at 9:30 and you have the ridiculously long days in front of you. And that's like not something that you end up getting when you're in Hawaii. Like sunset's 5:45. Oops. Ooh, surprising. Oh, okay. So sunset's around 5:45, and then you have like your evening time, but it's not really the playtime anymore. So what would it be? That's apparently where my mind is at if I'm to say something, but that isn't necessarily a holiday. That's just a whole season. Oh, so the other thing, the final thing, because apparently it's not going to be a super long episode this week. So, what would it be? When I lost my project bag from SSK that I ended up winning in the SSK raffle, my friend Sally, who is, what would it be? I believe that she makes bags under like produce bags. Another one of her bags is the San Francisco one that I have up there, and that was a collaboration with Dawn, who is another friend from the Berkeley Knitters. So Sally got a new sewing machine, and she wanted to try out its embroidery capabilities, and so she ended up, she ended up making a bag with my Instagram hashtag, my Instagram handle on it, so that I would not lose my bag. And she knew that I was down one. And so the outside is denim. It is a drawstring sack. It's pretty stiff, but she was like, just keep working it. It'll be fine. And then it has blue and orange. I don't know what fabric this is on the inside. It actually feels pretty silky. So that might be a satin. I don't know. It doesn't feel like or look like quilter's cotton. With like little flecks of blue and green and orange. It looks sort of like a painting, actually. A bright orange drawstring. And then I've been working a couple of projects out of this bag and have not properly thanked Sally for it. And then, like, it was the case where I think she was doing a big studio clean out. So she also ended up giving me a large Swift in the same blue color as my small Swift. It is my small Swift. So I opted not to transfer contents over, though it was would it be feedback that the sweater project may be a little big for my little Swift. But she had not made friends with the Swift bag, with I think like the high clear pockets and that sort of thing. So that was like super duper nice of her, and I've forgotten several weeks in a row to mention it. And now it's to the point where I put away the Swift bag because we had guests. So thank you, Sally. I've been getting a lot of use out of it. So it'd be the case where it's super wonderful to receive like a gift from a friend made specifically for you. It was like, I don't need any more sock drawstring bags because she already made this one for me. So I very much so appreciate gifts like that. So pretty awesome. So, but that was the case where I was looking around being like, oh, I forgot to talk about this forever. Should fix that. Would it be? Yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to a fairly quiet day. I probably need to actually figure out a meal plan for the week. but like, yeah, no, I'm going to be non super duper high energy, go get 'em sort of situation. Would it be, or it may just be the case where I'm still in vacation recovery. So, on one hand, it was super duper nice that right before the trip I had the Saturday and Sunday to get all ready, and then we flew on a Sunday night. What was not so great was getting back late Sunday night this week, whatever, like a week ago, and not being able to go to the grocery store for a couple of days, not necessarily having the weekend to make sure like all the laundry was taken care of and the house was in order and everything was sorted and that sort of thing. I'm really thankful I paid the taxes before leaving. And then there's like sort of like background, low priority stuff that needs to get done. So sort of the case where I probably need to like make a phone call to like the short-term disability people and be like, hey, I thought I sent it to the right place, but I might have sent it to the wrong place. Can we keep moving this claim forward? So it required going to be like other stupid things like taking my 401k and rolling it into my new 401k and stuff like that. So it's just like it takes time and energy on a weekday, and I'm really busy with like normal work stuff too, but it just needs to get done. So what would it be? So you could probably argue there are quite a few things that are sort of like that right now, where it just takes a little time and energy, and I don't have a lot to get. But what would it be? No shortage of knitting, just a shortage of feeling energized to knit. So hopefully that doesn't last for too much longer, as you can. Yeah, and it will be the case where, or would it be? It is exciting to know that I do have another week off coming up, so that is good. So unfortunately, I'm gonna miss my San Francisco Knitters holiday party because the time of offness is Twixmas. But such is life. So that would be the case where, or would it be, and it's also just a little bit crazy making because like the other like low energy thing is like putting together all the plans for having a baby shower, and not having good weekends to do it on because Christmas falls on a Saturday and New Year's Day falls on a Saturday. So there was like rough ideas about having it next week, but I was not in a place of planning that when I was on vacation. So instead, it's gonna end up pushing till after the holidays. But like at some point you start getting into the danger zone because it's like if this child comes early, like won't have the supplies and crap. And I strongly suspect there's going to be some serious car shopping happening during Twixmas, which probably isn't the best time, but it is the time and it needs to get taken care of. and might as well get taken care of in a time when me and my spouse are both off work. It's just not what we want to do. So, what would it be? Life is slightly more complicated than my preference right now. But there were waffles today, so all is right in the world. As you do. So, what would it be? So I'm probably going to sign off, make lunch, go grocery shopping, maybe ponder if I need to do more grocery shopping than just what I'm planning on eating tonight. Like I got other good staples too. But oh no, what had happened? Apparently I've been without baking soda for a couple of months now, and we didn't notice till we started making oatmeal cookies last night. Because we're in cookie inception season, where I can suggest making cookies and my husband will take the lead on it. What would it be? So, like, he has more Christmas spirit than I do. And we can use this Christmas spirit for cookies. And I was planning on walking to the grocery store at the bottom of the hill, but it's raining, so I'll probably just drive. The grocery store at the bottom of the hill is very bougie, so I go there when I'm looking for very specific sorts of things, like a variety of maple syrup and excellent meat and fish, and then anything else that I end up buying in addition to is probably going to be quite a bit more pricey than whatever the mass market grocery chain. But sometimes you just want good salmon. So, oh well, whatever. And it's even smaller than my itty bitty mass market grocery chain, but it seems to have everything I'm looking for. They carried Halloween candy, a little whatever. Itty bitty grocery store on the bottom of the hill carried, made room on their shelves for Halloween candy, so whatever. I'm just babbling at this point, but I don't know, hopefully you enjoy the babble. If you don't enjoy the babble, whatever. You turned off a while ago. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.